Thank you everyone for coming to the Partner Power Hour Volume 3. I can see some people who have been regulars over the course of this month, and I know that others are joining for the first time. So let me just quickly kind of run through what to expect here, and then we can get straight in and start looking at some of the solutions. So let me share my screen for just a moment here. So the NationBuilder Partner Power Hour series, we are here and live for Volume 3. The idea here is we're going to just get some really kind of quite high level demonstrations of some of these solutions that integrate with NationBuilder. And the idea really is for it to sort of whet some appetites so that if you have some interest, you can then follow up with the fine partners we have and get a really kind of fuller, more bespoke, more specific demonstration to your needs. I am your host today. I am Ollie. I'm a business development director at NationBuilder, which means I have the privilege of working with a lot of the partners who are building really exciting things on and into NationBuilder. I'm based in London. It's been a bizarre day here in London with like beautiful January sunshine followed by chaotic, disgusting rain. So I haven't really been outside much, but I hope it's a bit nicer where you are. So this is what we are seeing today. Couple of people are just joining, so we might jink around this order a little bit, but we are going to start with Bailey, who's going to tell us a little bit about SupporterBase.
Okay, hi everyone. So I am the growth manager at Code Nation. I am unmuted, right? Yeah, good. I'm the growth manager at Code Nation. I'm also joined by my colleague Corey McCann, who's online to answer your questions in the Q&A. And I'm here to tell you about our CRM add-on called SupporterBase. So SupporterBase is a product that we developed to make organizing easier by simplifying the tools and access that your volunteers need to lead. It doesn't replace your NationBuilder CRM, most importantly, but it simplifies access to the specific tools that your volunteers need via a two-way sync with NationBuilder. And our cause is very simple. We are on a mission to simplify supporter engagement so that both staff organizers and their volunteers can reach more supporters faster. So that we see less of this, burnt out, bottlenecked organizers, and more of this happy, productive volunteers. SupporterBase was created by the developers at Code Nation. If we haven't met before, we're an Australia-based digital agency. We've been a trusted NationBuilder partner for over 10 years. And you may know us from some of our popular themes. Over the past decade, our team has built hundreds of campaign websites, and we continue to do so in addition to our work with SupporterBase. The SupporterBase team is also includes some former organizers, myself and Dale, and we kind of bring our long-suffering history, you could say, of managing volunteers and of running campaigns to support you. So I'm going to get into the features in just a moment, but I want to give you some context for how SupporterBase started. The story began in Australia with a campaigning organization called Get Up. You may be familiar with their American or Canadian counterparts, Move On or Lead Now. And Get Up came to Code Nation to devise a solution for their volunteer management program. They were establishing 151 volunteer-led action groups, so one in each electorate in the country. And they were looking for a way to simplify the data that they stored in NationBuilder without giving 151, minimally trained volunteers access to the entire nation. So we worked with their organizers to create SupporterBase, this simplified CRM just for their action group leaders. Since that initial project with Get Up, we've deployed SupporterBase into over 40 campaigns across Australia and now across Europe, where I'm based. And these are a few of our sort of longtime customers. I'll just note that you may notice that we specifically work with progressives. We do not work with right-wing or conservative movements. And that's because we work with causes that we believe are making a positive contribution to the world, democracy, equality, social justice, and for the planet. Okay, so let's get into it in a little bit more detail. So high level, SupporterBase is a web app that will give your volunteers access to their own segmented supporter groups. All of this activity that you see here is logged as data and automatically transferred back into your nation. We offer 3 levels of access: administrative, captain, or the volunteer leader, and vice captain. And I'm going to show you the experience as a captain, or what would be your volunteer leader, maybe. Before I do that, I'm just going to pause for a second and invite you to, close your eyes if you like, and just cast your memory back to when you were a first-time volunteer, whether that was on a campaign or, college chapter of a nonprofit, and sort of put yourself in their shoes. Because the platform that I'm going to show you is quite simple. We want, volunteers of any age or background to be able to use it. Okay, if your eyes are closed, you can open them. And here's what your supporter group will look like to a volunteer when she logs in. So welcome to Bailey's new Toronto volunteers. She will see the membership criteria, which is built using tags from NationBuilder, as well as some other contact data. Here we have postcodes or zip codes. She'll see the users with access to this group. So you may have 151 groups in SupporterBase, but this volunteer captain will only see this one, along with the other captains who are sort of included there. On the left, she can create and publish her own events. And then on the right there, you can see that this group has 4 events coming up. And these can be connected to an events page on your website so that supporters can easily find their way to you and to your group. Your volunteer can send out email and SMS blasts, as well as manage their inbox of replies. They can phone bank with our automatic dialer. And then they can go in and see individual supporters' details. So we're going to go take a look at our friend Jim Halpert. And your volunteer can communicate with him individually within the app via email, SMS, or calling. She can see his engagement details, his contact history, and notes left over from other volunteers. We have a feature that allows you to anonymize the contact data, and of course, all communication sort of happens within the app. And I want to flag this. It's especially valuable for our organizations who are either in Europe, work adhering to GDPR, or who have internal data privacy policies that may not want volunteers to directly see the personal contact information. And this can be turned on or off. Finally, your volunteer will also have the opportunity to choose the language in which she wants to use SupporterBase. So this is a feature that's especially valued by our customers in non-English speaking countries or campaigning in electorates with diverse communities. The interface, the language of the interface can be customized by each volunteer. Okay, so that was a quick and simple overview of our simple product. If you're a campaigner, if you manage volunteer programs at a nonprofit, it may already be evident to you how you might use SupporterBase. I'll give you a few examples though. Campaigns use SupporterBase to engage and mobilize volunteers from canvassing to election day. Nonprofits use this to manage their volunteer groups, such as their chapters or working committees. And we're also beginning to see use cases of fundraising teams using SupporterBase, and in particular, the call list feature to nurture relationships with donors. So if you're thinking that this product could be right for your organization, we should get in touch. I'll share my email in a moment. And I want to just take you through the pricing and how we price the product. Subscriptions are priced by the number of supporters. And it's just worth noting that this is not necessarily going to be the same number as contactable records in your nation, because the number of supporters, those that are being reached by volunteers, are likely a subset of contacts. They may be volunteers, event attendees, donors. It really depends on your volunteer program, but I just want to flag that. So you can see some indicative pricing here with our monthly price or an annual price, which offers a 10% discount. We also charge a one-time implementation fee that depends, that is sort of depending on your organization's needs. Most importantly, if you're on this call today or watching on YouTube later, we're offering a power hour discount of 30% on annual billing. So again, you can just email me to access that. Here's my email, bailey@codenation.com. You can also scan this right now and book a meeting into my calendar if you just want to keep talking about SupporterBase right away. I'll be really pleased to meet with you and explore whether SupporterBase is the right solution for your organization. And yeah, it'll be great to meet everyone. So thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Bailey. And yeah, please do scan the QR code and you can take your questions directly to Bailey and the team. I'm going to pass the mic to Grace, who's going to tell us about Double the Donation.
Awesome. Thanks, Oliver, and thanks everyone for being here today. Like Oliver mentioned, I'm going to share a little bit more about Double the Donation and what we do and how we work with NationBuilder. So just a quick introduction of myself. I'm on our partnerships team here at Double the Donation, and I get to work with our wonderful partners like NationBuilder to bring you integrated solutions and also collaborate on things like this, marketing, and all of the great pieces to make sure you can use Double the Donation. So if you're not familiar with Double the Donation, we are the leading provider of tools to nonprofits and educational institutions to help them raise more money from corporate matching gift and volunteer grant programs. So really, Double the Donation is all about workplace giving and bringing that revenue into organizations' pockets so they can make the most with their mission. So with that in mind, talking a little bit more about Double the Donation and our offerings. If you're not familiar with corporate matching gifts, these are one of the most common types of workplace giving programs. They're continuing to grow in popularity, but essentially what it looks like is if I work for, let's say, the Home Depot, US-based company here in Atlanta, and I give $100 to the Atlanta SPCA, I can go to Home Depot and then request that they give an additional $100 to the Atlanta SPCA. That's a corporate matching gift. So in the US alone, there are over 26 million individuals who work for companies that have these types of programs that are eligible for matching gifts. And there's a number of benefits to these programs, both for the fundraising organizations, but also the companies and the employees themselves. So that's why we tend to see them continuing to grow in popularity because companies are starting to realize, hey, we can increase employee retention and satisfaction. This is a really positive look for our brand. We can have tax deductions for our company, and then it suits employees well because they get to give to the causes that mean the most to them. But to sort of put this in perspective and understand why it matters and why we offer integrations like the one we do with NationBuilder, like I mentioned, there's over 26 million individuals in the US, and 65% of Fortune 500 companies offer matching gift programs. That's continuing to grow. But matching gifts can be a really impactful feature when it comes to fueling donor engagement. So 84% of donors are more likely to donate if they know a match is offered. If you're able to give $25 and all of a sudden that's $50, that can mean a lot to your kind of motivation to give and continue to give in the future. 71% more donors respond to fundraising appeals mentioning matching, and there's a 51% increase in donation amount when mentioning matching. So there's a lot of opportunity here when it comes to the impact of corporate matching gifts and making the most for your organization. So what Double Donation looks like, this is a very green page. We're a very green company to help organizations bring in these matching gifts. The biggest barrier that we see on our end is a lack of awareness and a lack of know-how amongst donors. So I may work for the Home Depot, but that doesn't tell me how to submit my matching gift request, if I'm eligible, the requirements for being eligible, or any of those pieces. So the goal of Double Donation matching and our integrations is to cut through all of that red tape for you and let donors know if they're eligible and how to give directly in your giving process. So with that in mind, we work predominantly with 501c3s, fundraising organizations, and in the US, but also in Canada and across the UK and Australia, wherever corporate matching gifts are available. So we've got a couple of key features here, the employer search tools, which I'll show you in just a minute, automated donor communication, so you can have segmented matching gift outreach for donors who are eligible or who you would like to inquire about their eligibility, real-time matching gift status tracking, so you can check where they're at in the matching gift process and follow up or say thank you as needed. Platform integrations, like I mentioned, so you can add this directly into the NationBuilder flow and engage with donors as they're giving. Reporting and analytics, of course, to measure the effectiveness of matching gift efforts and performance over time. What is a strategy if you can't fine tune it in the future? So definitely want to utilize those reporting and analytics to iterate in the future. And then, of course, that eligibility screening to see who's eligible and how you might be able to incorporate this into your fundraising efforts. So now, like I mentioned, I will quickly show you what the integration looks like, how you can bring this into your fundraising, and how you can actually leverage Double the Donation to bring in more from matching gifts. So I will go ahead and hop over to the Cat Rescue Club here. The Cat Rescue Club is a mock nonprofit that we use as Double the Donation to simulate our giving process. So as I'm giving, I'm typing in all of my usual information as I give. And then as I scroll down, you'll see this is the Double the Donation search tool in action. This is a smart optional field that you can place on your forms with the NationBuilder integration so that donors can search for their employer as they're giving. As I mentioned, it's smart, so you'll see that drop down. There's Home Depot, like I mentioned. Even if I spell it incorrectly, even if I'm working with something like a parent company and a subsidiary, so ESPN, who is owned by the Walt Disney Corporation, or even if I'm working with some subsect of employment like retirees who might still want to find that option within the dropdown, I can enter my employer, select it on the giving page, and then continue giving just as I normally would. I will see what we call our confirmation page plugin that shows you, yes, matching gifts are offered. You selected Home Depot, and you can click here to go to the matching gift form and actually kick off the giving process. So following that gift, you can connect donors directly to the matching gift submission process and ensure that they know how to finish that process and get set up. But as I mentioned, there are these automated emails, so you have the ability to follow up with donors, not only immediately following the donation, but also in an email and say, hey, you just gave $100. Did you know you might be eligible for a gift? Click to start that same process again, or let the organization know that you've submitted that matching gift request. And all of this information is funneled back into an organization's individual Double the Donation dashboard. So you'll see there's my gift right there, $100. I selected the Home Depot, and you can even see that my match has been initiated because I went in and clicked that button to get to my Home Depot login. So all of those clicks are tracked so you can know exactly where a donor is throughout the process, and you can see what emails they've received, what they're going to look like, and configure those emails to look exactly like you would, include the exact language, and so they really resonate with your supporters. One piece I'll mention there is we do have CNAME set up, so you can have emails coming directly from your organization. You don't have to have it coming from doublethenation.com or Double the Donation matching gifts. You can have it directly from your organization. So it makes sense, it's recognizable, and it's easy to work with. So with that in mind, that is a quick demo of what Double the Donation looks like with NationBuilder. We price based on organizations' expected ROI from the tool, so you can make as much from matching gifts as your kind of fundraising expects to. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and I know Oliver mentioned he'll be sending out next steps and information afterwards, but feel free to reach out to me and get connected if you'd like to learn more about Double the Donation. So thanks, everyone.
Amazing. Very concise, lots covered. Thank you so much. I had a question around sort of geographic coverage. I think you kind of touched on it, and it's countries where corporate matching is offered. But can you just clarify that point, please?
Absolutely. So corporate matching gifts are a predominantly US-based phenomenon. So organizations that are based in the US or have a predominantly US-based donor demographic are likely going to see the most success with a tool like Double the Donation. However, we do have coverage across countries with matching gift programs. There's a lot of programs that have international availability. So companies like Microsoft that have employees all over the world oftentimes will match to organizations all over the world. So it can vary from organization to organization and country to country, but especially in the US and then in Canada, the UK, and Australia, beyond that is where we see the most kind of coverage and availability when it comes to corporate matching gifts.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to pass things over to Jack, who's going to tell us about Minds. Jack, how are you doing?
All right. Yeah, nice to meet you all. My name is Jack Ottman. I'm the COO of a company called Minds. Just to give you a little bit of background about ourselves, we're a small team of talented developers, and we've been on a mission to help businesses, brands, and individuals just do a better job retaining their communities through social networking, and bringing some of that in-house instead of relying completely on big tech and some of the major players there. We've invested over 15 million over the last decade into building this product, and it's currently used by over 5 million people. And basically in this past year, we launched a new white labeling product. So now any business, brand, creator can easily launch their own social network for their community in minutes with the click of a button. So basically we've kind of tried to build all the hard stuff with the social media, so you don't have to worry about it. We're a new partner to NationBuilder as of 2025, so we're really excited for the opportunity to connect with everyone here. We're really impressed with everything NationBuilder has built, and I love hearing all of these awesome presentations about some of the other partners and what everyone's up to. So a little bit about how Minds can help your business for clients of NationBuilder. So our goal is really to connect with any NationBuilder client who has any interest in launching more of a community app on their website. So empowering basically your members to have more dialogue together and more dialogue between you and them. So Minds can, really easily help your NationBuilder website come more to life with this community app. We can give you features like profiles. Users can post stuff, join groups, create groups, chat with each other, post comments, vote on things, even pay you to advertise on your website, and much more. Pretty much everything you are used to seeing on traditional social media. What we're trying to do with NationBuilder is just make a seamless experience so that donors, members can have an additional portal where they can log in with their NationBuilder creds and just have a really awesome experience where they can connect better with each other. The product includes both a full web application that is hosted on your own domain, so it would be on a subdomain of your website, which I can show more in a bit, but we also include mobile applications both listed in both app stores. So for any NationBuilder client that is interested in having a mobile app presence, this is a really interesting way to get on the app stores quickly and give your members and donors like a really interesting and unique experience connecting with your brand. Some of the top use cases that we're seeing today with this product are really, the best one is anyone who has any kind of paid memberships or donors system. So that's why we've been so interested in trying to partner with NationBuilder. We've found that our customers who have large memberships or large donor bases are really enjoying having something like this because it's a very simple way to give back value to your members or your donors. You don't have to worry about any of the development, any of the coding, any of the maintenance. It's basically just a value add where you can say, hey, members, thanks for donating. Now you get access to our exclusive community app. We also are working with a lot of nonprofits, entrepreneurs, think tanks, advocacy groups. And then our other sweet spot is in the creators, podcast, and media space. So I wanted to give a quick live demo. forgive my terrible NationBuilder demo site, but imagine this is your beautiful NationBuilder site, and essentially all we're doing at the moment is creating a redirect link on the top nav. So you can see here, I just added a join community. You edit and you basically have it redirect to a subdomain of whatever your website is. And by doing that, you have a join button now, which I think is something that a lot of websites don't have. There are a lot of top down, talking to people, but not really giving the community a way to have a voice themselves. So with Minds, you can have a community button, say join our community. People can log in and they'll be able to log in seamlessly with their NationBuilder creds. We can even make it so they don't even have to click anything to do this, but just for the demo's purposes, I'll log into my admin account, and you can see here sort of what the community portal looks like. So it's a lot like your own private Twitter or your own private Facebook, which is really isolated down to only being about your brand, your business, your donors, your community. So it's got a ton of features. Like I said, we've got a news feed, trending hashtags. Anybody who joins can have their own profile page where they're able to create posts. They can upload videos, podcasts, images, status posts, pretty much all the above. And, it's a really good way to just, again, empower your donors and your members to be able to do a lot more and have more of a voice within your business. Similarly, we have other features like chat, which is a really powerful one to let members actually connect with each other and make it easy for you to connect with them. One really interesting piece of data that we found is that if you're able to get members to have 3 or more member-to-member engagements, so where the members are actually talking to each other, there's almost a 99% greater chance that they're going to renew if they have that experience in a month. So one of the big things we're trying to accomplish with this is really help you reduce your membership churn or your donor churn, and encourage your donors and your members to become, more connected with each other and more connected with you. So it's got a lot of features. We've got chat. You can create groups. You can explore the trending feeds, see what people are talking about. There's a lot of admin controls, so I could run through all of it, but I'll save that for if anyone wants a follow-up meeting. But basically, you get to create your own policies, your own monetization system. You can connect a Stripe account so you can receive more payments for things like exclusive content or advertising. This is all hosted on your own subdomain. So, this is on demo.mindsnetworks.com, but imagine if it's your own, you could have it on community.yourwebsite.com or app.yourwebsite.com. And yeah, it's super customizable. Our goal is to really make it feel like your community. So you can control the branding, you can customize the logo, the colors, you can add custom scripts to even make it more your own. You can customize the entire navigation here to make it, again, fit your brand best. So it also comes with your own branded mobile app. That was a little harder for me to demo with the screen share, but I took some screenshots of one of our customers. It's a podcast about, kind of some supernatural experiences called The Confessionals. They have, a bunch of paid members and a really great community there. So they're using the app just for their members to be able to have a place to connect with each other. They log in with their NationBuilder account. They're able to then, get a whole catalog of exclusive content, connect with other members of the community, with groups and posting, and even enjoy things like podcasts natively on the app. So, why you should consider a community app. Like I mentioned, our clients are seeing some really extremely positive results in some key areas of the business, mainly reducing member churn and getting higher renewal rates. Also growing revenue from paid memberships and advertising opportunities, in addition to increasing community engagement and collaboration. That's one of the main ones. It just gives you a really easy space to communicate more effectively with your members and your donors. And then just add in more retention mechanisms on your site, so when somebody comes, they can check out your website, and now they have this place where they can actually go, be an active part of the community instead of just a reader. So it kind of turns your readers into a more engaged person in your community. The good thing about it is that it's kind of more of a bottom of the funnel social media strategy. So it's not saying to not use Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and TikTok and all these ones to acquire new people. But when you're getting all these people to come to your website, it's really just about giving them more to do. And once you bring them into your own app, you get 100% control of reach to them. So you're not having to compete with the algorithms. You're not having to compete with everything. You're fully in charge of, what they get, what content they're seeing, and the experience that they're having there. Our pricing is pretty simple. We offer pretty competitive pricing packages to try to get people into the App Store at a far lower cost than building something from scratch, and far less headaches. The typical cost of building an app like this is, well over 100K a year to have developers to build this stuff and maintain it. But with us, you can have that whole web app that I just showed you for just $500 a month, which is fully hosted on your domain. You own it all. You own the data. It's really just a powerful add-on for your NationBuilder site. If you want to add the mobile apps as well, that's $1,500 a month, and there's a one-time 10K setup fee just to get the App Store accounts set up and the initial apps launched. But yeah, we handle all the software development, all the maintenance, so it's really a no-code solution for you. So the only thing you really need to worry about is engaging more with your community and trying to find ways to improve your business and your relationships. So if anyone's interested in learning more, we'd definitely love to speak with you. If you want to get in touch, you can email me. My email is jack@minds.com, and we can discuss this more deeply. You can also check out our website. It's just called networks.minds.com, where you can learn more about our product, start a trial, or find ways to get in touch with us there. So yeah, that's all I've got. So thanks for listening.
Thank you, Jack. Much appreciated. Great. Ian, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Ian, and I'm with NationKit. We are a partner agency with NationBuilder that is focused on building high-performing experiences on top of the NationBuilder platform. So that includes website experiences, integrations and add-ons, as well as additional bespoke integrations that go directly into your account. So there are two sort of pieces that I'm going to focus on today of what we could potentially help your organization with. One is a integrated expanded supporter profile and portal system that is hosted directly inside of your NationBuilder account. And the second is what we call NB keys, which is a way that we can make take the NationBuilder API and allow more fine-grained control so it can be used in a number of different instances, which I'll cover more in detail as we move on. So for the supporter portal that we have created, this is an elevated version of the default NationBuilder profile page. And so this can be plugged in either into your existing NationBuilder account, or it can be deployed as a separate site on your NationBuilder account. Everything here is I'll call NationBuilder default, so it doesn't rely on an external integration that you have to connect or a separate platform. This lives as part of your site like any other page on NationBuilder. On this page, there's a number of different things that we can see and that your supporters can interact with. Some of the main things is that they can come in, they can see their donation history, they can see their different fundraising goals, they can see their activity. Some of those more sort of normal NationBuilder details are surfaced. Additionally, is you can enable the recruiter system so that anyone that is recruited by your supporter through the NationBuilder recruiter system will come in here in real time. That supporter who's recruited or shared their link can see that their friend has signed up, or and optionally you can expose additional information on that. So If you're running a fundraiser campaign, for instance, and you have fundraisers out there and they're doing follow-ups on people, you can see if, say, that fundraiser has 10 different people that they're responsible for, say, having them each contribute $100, is you can come in here and optionally allow that fundraiser to see, has my list of people met their target? And if not, that gives a very clear and immediate actionability for them to follow up with that person. Related to this, you can see membership information. So this is good for membership drives or for like leadership nominations, is that you can come in and see, again, for anyone who's assigned you as a recruiter or recruits, I should say, and you can see the different membership statuses or really any tag or any other data point in the system that you want to elevate or to your supporters. They can all show up here. And then we have a few different versions of it. So this is one version or one implementation option. There's some other experiences here, and involved in all of this is it's all module. So if you want events turned on, you can have events turned on. If you want to have the donation system turned on, you can, as well as member-only resources, etc. As part of this as well is if you're RSVPing to events or your supporters are, they can come into this page, they can see everything at a glance and see, okay, these are the events that I've RSVP'd for, or these are the volunteer actions that I've RSVP'd for. And if it's an in-person event, they can optionally see if you're using a sort of QR code type of scan or attendance system, is they could view that QR code and show that at the in-person event to be marked as attended. Really, this is meant as a way to help organizations engage supporters or allow them a hub where they can engage in volunteer activities or in any sort of membership activities all in one place and all in a sort of integrated default NationBuilder experience. The last piece on the supporter portal is it can also use the NationBuilder social capital system. So with this is all of it plugs into the default social capital system. So if you've gone in and enabled that or changed any of those values, all of that is reflected and any of it is retroed or backdated. So when it shows to the user, you can turn this on, you can give different levels. So as a supporter earns points for the different actions that you're attributing the points to, you can have them go through, level up, unlock achievements. So there's that gamification piece to it. Or you can also allow them to redeem their social capital, whether it's for merch or some other type of reward or experience. And again, this all happens inside of that NationBuilder profile page. And then switching gears a little bit. So the second piece is different ways that we can leverage the API to build very bespoke or very sort of targeted solutions to enhance the platform or enhance your user experience and flows. So we do this through a system that we call a key system, which this allows us to create what's called like scopable or like secure and use case specific API keys that can be used on your front facing website. So this allows you to say, have a page where maybe you want to let one segment of your users have access to a page and they can apply a specific tag maybe to say their recruits and that they can manage that. And instead of needing to give those people control panel access, you can have this page that they log into with either like the NationBuilder member login or just being logged in as a supporter on the site. They can go to this page and they can interact with that one action. And when that API call is made back into the database, it does a check to ensure that only the specific page that's doing the request, the user is authorized, and the information that's allowed to be changed is happening. And that goes through and that is in a done in a secure way so that basically you can think of it as a custom form. So anything that is that can be done with the NationBuilder API can now be exposed and surfaced basically in a form format that you can use securely. And So this kind of takes shape in a number of different ways that you can use to elevate or enhance the sort of default NationBuilder experience. So we've used this to help clients with creating advanced event searches or fast event search. This has allowed you to have a event listing that you can do dynamic tag filtering on. You can do different keyword search. You can do a geographic search, whether it's by zip code. Some organizations or political campaigns, it makes sense to search by what riding you're in or even distance away. And that allows you to do that. And it also allows you to do it without needing to do a page load. So you can do it and have the information update without the page fully reloading or you losing other settings that are already configured on the page. Similarly, we've used it as a way to provide a event approval system for user created or community events. So NationBuilder has a great flow where you can go through, you can create, your supporters can create an event, and then typically someone with control panel access will go in and assign a tag, like an approval tag, that then lets the event show up on the website. Through this system, it's another way that you can give a group of people essentially some sort of elevated permissions where they don't need access to the NationBuilder control panel. They just need access to a page that basically lets them see the events that are pending approval. And then they have the option to click, approve event. And then it will go up to the website, again, without needing to give a lot of people control panel access just for that one action they would take. Another is that through the system, we can create sort of like infinite scroll pages, whereas you scroll to the bottom, more blog posts, more events, anything that has sort of like clicking next or a paginated list. All of those can be loaded as the user continues to scroll, sort of like on social media, where you can just kind of scroll until you can scroll endlessly. Same thing here. And then a final note is that, again, since we can access securely very specific information from NationBuilder using the filters and everything else in V1 and V2 APIs, is we can create leaderboards, we can create interactive maps and other data visualizations that pull the exact specific information you want out of NationBuilder. And you can surface that to either the public or specific groups of people that you're looking to share that information with. And one last example that we have is we've implemented this in a way that allows you to collect through NationBuilder information for RSVP +1s or guests, both for ticketed and non-ticketed events. So the version I'm showing here is the non-ticketed event where it enhances the NationBuilder platform where you have the +1, you can say how many guests you're bringing. This has you put in the information for each guest. And when you send your RSVP or submit your RSVP, it will also RSVP them in the system. They'll receive a notification email as well. And then you can track their attendance. So it lets you treat them as if they're a regular RSVP, but in the back end of the system, it also creates a relationship. So you have that context that connects all of these people together. Similarly for tickets, if you went through and did the purchase for your ticket, after finishing your purchase, you'd be able to assign the different tickets to the individual members, enter their emails, and then it would send them a confirmation email as well, sort of the same way that you as the main RSVPer would. That's a quick overview of everything we have today.
Thank you, Ian. That's really, really great. Lots to show there, and we'll definitely make sure to share that out. Again, we're going to keep things rolling over and pass to Brendan.
Thanks, Ali. My own name is Brendan. I'm the founder of ECanvasser. We're based out of Ireland, but we've worked with campaigns in nearly plenty of countries at this stage, and we've partnered with NationBuilder we've been integrated with NationBuilder for nearly 10 years now at this stage. So what ECanvasser is that it's a field canvassing app, and it simplifies how you do your outreach when out in the field. As I said, we've worked with over 15,000 field canvassing teams, and worked across 70 countries at this stage. And our mobile app is based in has been translated into 15 languages, from say English, French, German to Canada to Sinhalese. So it gives you kind of a flavor of some of the countries and regions that we've worked with, and in many cases it's been with NationBuilder. So in terms of why ECanvasser, and you can see kind of a few snippets of what ECanvasser is, but I'll go into a live demo in a little while. Is with our field canvassing software, with our mobile apps, and with the web platform, we've built ECanvasser to scale, so you can scale effortlessly. So we've done that through kind of a distributed model. So it's a case of you'd have multiple instances of ECanvasser, and they all connect up into one central data lake. So it means that you can go from 500 or a small precinct of like 5,000 people to a nationwide campaign of like 260 million with no scaling challenges. Then our geocoding and mapping, we've had to work on that for quite some time. We're based in Ireland. I think we only got postcodes like 3 years ago. Now they're excellent. Every house has its own unique postcode, but for a lot of time, there was mapping was always a challenge. So it's something that we had to overcome in the early days. So it's a case of what that has enabled us to do is build mapping features that are really reliable and precise. And then we have a native iOS and Android canvassing apps where you can actually customize. So it's a drag and drop, no code app builder. So you can just drag over what fields you need and adjust it so that it fits your needs. And then likewise, we have real-time field tracking. So you know where your team is, and you get a bird's eye view of what's happening in the field at all times. And then look, we take a partnership approach to all of our customers. So it's not just a kind of a one and done kind of thing. It's more we like to see ourselves as an extension of your team and of your outreach strategy. And then we have an API, so you can connect in. So obviously, in this context, it will connect in with NationBuilder. And I'll show you how that integration works. But I suppose instead of me kind of highlighting what are the best features, which I will do, it's always good to hear from what our customers say about us. So this was a campaign manager. It's the Women's Equality Party in the UK. They're joint NationBuilder, ECanvasser customer. They really liked the speed of the canvas. And that's one thing that we always emphasize. And it's a case of technology should always be in the background. And it's about, when you're at the door, you have less than a minute to actually make an impression. So you don't want the canvasser fumbling on the phone. You want them having a conversation, and they can just track the data or the information that they need. So that was what this campaign manager loved about ECanvasser: the ease of canvas and the easy access to the data and seeing all the inputs. Then in terms of this field director in the UK, different customer, they loved the bird's eye view and how they could see the accountability for canvassers. So they knew exactly what they were doing. NationBuilder is brilliant at the online, and there's so many tools now that track the online so well. But it's a case of the field then, and the canvassing is just, it's kind of a fugazi. No one knows what's happening. So that's where ECanvasser can really showcase, and that's what this customer loved. And then in terms of turf allocation, so I'll bring you through how you can cut turf. So it's basically create lists. You put in your voter file, your contact file, we map it out, and you can cut the area of the territory that you want to assign to your team. So gone are the days that you have to be kind of marking out or coloring in a map. So it's a case of it's far superior than any kind of a paper-based system. And then the former mayor of Ottawa, he just loved their team loved the general campaign toolkit and the insights. This US consultant, again, loved being able to see the trend, and because it's synced in real time, it can store, ECanvasser works offline as well, but when you're syncing in real time, the campaign team can actually see what trends are emerging from the ground, because there's a live activity stream that comes through. So that's the case of they can actually tailor the messaging then. So they can tailor the scripts, they can add maybe a question, add another field. So it allows you to react in almost real time as the campaign goes on. So it gets you a better result. So then in terms of, I suppose, how ECanvasser actually does it. ECanvasser is split up into 3 sections. You're planning, so that's doing your outreach, you're building your canvassing, cutting your turf. Then you have your organize, and then you have your engage. So as I said, you have your turf cutting and canvassing app in plan. Then you have your team management, you have your list assignment, and then you can do offline canvassing events where you can assign a list to that. You can have your meeting points. So it's almost like a Facebook event, except it's for on the ground canvassing, and syncs into the mobile app. So your canvassers can just check in at the event. They'll be automatically assigned a timed list. And then once the event is over, the list disappears, and they can, so there's no risk of maybe data privacy issues or concerns or security concerns. Then the engage side is the reporting, all that field tracking, and you can do custom reports. And then obviously the integrations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you ECanvasser. So I'll show you the web app. So you see here, this is the map view. You've imported your contacts from ECanvasser. Each pin here represents a house that's geocoded, and you can see there's gray houses. And you can filter down based on like specific, if you have like a specific data points. So you can filter down here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a kind of a flat list. So I'm just going to create the free draw, and I'm going to select this area here and complete the turf. In that area, there's 47 houses. This is all dummy data, so that's why the contacts will map up the house data. You click create. You can give it a name, and then you can assign it a list type. You can assign it out to a team. I'm just going to click save for the moment. And that list has been created. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tailor the mobile app. So again, I've switched across. You can see the mobile app here. You can flick between what it looks like in Android and iOS. And then you can also, so what I want to do is I actually don't want to capture a company, and I want to capture what organization in. I don't need that. I don't need that. I want to keep it really simple. Then we have our statuses. So this determines the color of the pin that you see here on the map. So again, you can customize all this. You can map these statuses to your NationBuilder statuses as well. So you can edit them, you can change the color. You can basically change whatever you want. Star rating. Again, everything within ECanvasser is massively customizable. So you can turn on star rating. This matches to ECanvasser or to NationBuilders. Again, you can customize all this. So you can really like turn on and off the functionality of ECanvasser. There's extensive permissions. You have surveys here as well. You can create your surveys in NationBuilder. All those surveys will pull across, and it's a case of it'll update. And then you have your talking points. So again, really easy. It's just a little script. Hello.
Brendan, I'm just going to have to intervene. We do have one more demo.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if you can just sort of wrap it up.
Yeah. So that's you can see the talking points there, and then in terms of like you have your charts here too. So then the final slide here is how the actual integration works. The technical integration works. So you can see NationBuilder syncs across. You can sync across your surveys, your lists, your contacts, all the custom fields, and then ECanvasser will send across all the results, the support levels, all the mapped statuses, the tags. So again, you've completely bridged your online and your on the ground campaign. And that's it. It's a case of there's a 7-day free trial, or else you can feel free to email me. There's my email address there. So thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Brendan. And sorry to rush you off. I know there's so much to share with these solutions. They're not small things, but I'm going to pass over to Vottiv, and we'll go from there.
I'm Bryce with Vottiv. Excited to be a NationBuilder partner. Vottiv is a voter data and voter communication platform. So for NationBuilder customers, what this means is the voter data is included with a Vottiv account. So if you need to import voter data into your NationBuilder Vottiv makes it really easy to do that. So we have a robust voter and list query builder. We're an RNC partner, which means we're primarily US based. We're available to work with any nonpartisan organization or Republican and conservative campaign in the US. And we have, on top of kind of the voter data, we have some integrated voter communication tools like canvassing and direct mail. And we have our NationBuilder integration that allows you to sync across all of those contacts into NationBuilder. So I'll cover canvassing and direct mail quickly today as well. So the Vottiv sign-up process is really simple and easy. We have all of the states, cities, counties, school districts, and legislative boundaries across the country in the US already imported into Vottiv. So if your organization covers one of those areas, it makes it really easy to set up a Vottiv account. We'll import all of the voters within that area, within that geographic area into your Vottiv account, which you can then import into NationBuilder. If you are one of the municipal or special districts, you can just really easily draw on the map what your district boundaries, and then use that to import across into NationBuilder. This is an overview of our voter group builder. So we have a bunch of different filters, a ton of different demographics that we import with the voter data, and you can use those to segment down your lists and create, we call them voter groups or voter lists in NationBuilder. So here's an example of what one might be. If you wanted to select by political party, you can target people by political party. So here's Republicans and Independents, and also we could layer on voting history onto that as well. So you can get really granular with the elections that you want to target. So in this case, we're targeting people who voted in at least 2 of these 3 selected elections, and you can see that the kind of demographic overview will update in real time as you're building that list. Once you have that group built out, it'll be added to your Vottiv group list. And from there, that's where you can sync to NationBuilder. So all of these groups, as you build them, will get automatically synced over to NationBuilder as lists. So you can have some integration there. Additionally, within Vottiv, we've got a few integrated tools. Canvassing and direct mail is what I'll talk through. Canvassing, we take a bit of a different approach to canvassing than some of the other tools you may have used. Primarily, kind of the 3 highlights here are no turf cutting. So we try to make it really easy and simple for field directors and for campaign managers and for volunteers as well. So if you want to canvass a large voter group, you don't need to spend time cutting turf. You can create a walk list up to 100,000 homes and send that out really quickly to all your canvassers. And the way that we make that work is we have a live integration across all devices, so you can see where your team members are in real time. And as people mark off homes and complete them, you can see those will all appear in real time on everyone's devices. Optionally, if you do want to have kind of a more walk list approach to canvassing, you can set up focus areas, which you can name and then have teams or people assigned on different days or to different people in different areas. So that's kind of the volunteer side of it. On the admin side, creating a canvas is really easy. It takes less than a minute. You just select the voter group that you want to target, and then we'll generate a link and a QR code that you can print out. So if you want to paste that up at the pavilion or wherever in person, you can do that, or you can also email out that link, and it's really easy and fast to get onboarded onto the app. So you don't need to download an app from the App Store. It all works just through a web app online, and but it's also fully offline compatible. One cool piece of this is our kind of field director management. So from the admin panel, the app will track the GPS coordinates of every canvasser and their entire path and the actions they took and where they were when they took those. So this is actually a live or a real canvasser path from one of our campaigns from last November. You can see exactly this yellow path is where the canvasser walked, and you can see the houses they marked, and then this line shows where she was standing when she took that action. So it makes it really obvious to see where if people are cheating, and just make sure that you're getting correct coverage of all your areas. Direct mail as well is really simple with Vottiv. So we've set up a really cool system to quickly send out mail. So we support 4x6, 6x9, and 6x11 postcards. No minimum and per piece tracking. So All you need to do is design your postcard as a PDF or an image file, upload that to Vottiv. We'll generate the USPS preview. You select the voter group that you want it to go out to, anywhere from 1 voter up to hundreds of thousands, and then approve that USPS preview, print it, or pay, print, and we'll ship it and hand it over to USPS within 24 hours. Pricing for Vottiv, we try to make this really affordable and accessible for large campaigns and small campaigns alike. So for organizations that cover a geographic area under 100,000 voters, it's $1,500 one time for setup and $150 a month as long as you need to use it. And that includes voter data and no extra charge for the NationBuilder integration. And then for organizations over 100,000 voters, it doesn't scale too much more, but it scales correlated with how many voters you cover in your area. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email at sales@vottiv.com, or you can learn more at vottiv.com. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bryce. Thank you for rushing through that all. Yeah, we will 100% share everything, that we've seen, share links to more. We've covered a hell of a lot here, and I'm sure that when things are digested, there'll be some appetite to hear some more. So thank you everyone for joining our Volume 3 Partner Power Hour. Look out for an email from me, and really excited to get some feedback, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.